Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday, and sometimes Fridays like today. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. All right, no updates for you guys today again, so let's get into the stories. The first story that I have for you guys is that JoJo Siwa and Chris Hughes have seemingly debuted their relationship. I fear Kath Ebbs was right. I don't know if I thought that JoJo and Chris were gonna end up being together, but anyways, let me explain what's happening. So JoJo and her Celebrity Big Brother co-star Chris Hughes are currently on a vacation at an adults-only resort in Mexico, and they were photographed kissing in the pool and being very coupley. This paparazzi photo shoot came right after JoJo posted a birthday dump on her Instagram yesterday, where Chris is in a bunch of the photos. And in the middle of the carousel, I think this is the most incriminating one. If we didn't have the photo of them kissing in the pool, I think this would have been the most oh, okay, they are in a relationship. There's a photo in the middle of her carousel, and it's them sitting side by side, and his hand is on her leg, and she's taken a picture down like that, and it's just so boyfriend-girlfriend vibes. So as we know, this is right after JoJo has had a very public breakup with Australian influencer Kath Ebbs. Kath exposed JoJo on TikTok a few weeks back, saying that she broke up with Kath at the Big Brother after party. Kath had flown to the UK to celebrate the end of Big Brother and, thought that they were going to be celebrating with their partner. And then obviously JoJo broke up with them at the party, and Kath said with Chris in the other room. So very much indicating that they believed their breakup had a lot to do with Chris. JoJo has denied that, of course, in different press rounds that she's done. But yeah, the way that JoJo and Chris acted on Celebrity Big Brother was so intimate and so coupley. And I know Kath said initially that they thought maybe it was just for the show, but I guess it was not. We'll see how long this lasts. JoJo is a relationship girly. She is a back-to-back relationship girly. How many partners has she had since she turned 18? I swear to God, 8. And whatever, I said this before, but she's young, she's having fun, she's exploring herself. I mean, there's also, of course, people being I thought she was a lesbian. I don't know. Those labels don't really mean anything. The majority of my friends identify as straight, but if they got divorced from their husbands, they would probably exclusively start dating girls. None of this really matters. I mean, I guess that they're together. They look like a couple. They do. They're a couple, I guess. I feel really bad for Kath. JoJo, you couldn't have given, Kath was heartbroken. You couldn't have just given Kath a couple of months to let this kind of cool off. Maybe JoJo feels slighted because Kath took it to TikTok and, made it really public. But I don't know. I do think that was their right. They were in a very public relationship. And all of JoJo's exes have said that it's JoJo is the one that likes to be very public in the relationship. She's the one that's booking them, front row seats at an NBA game courtside so that they can get photographed and stuff like that. Apparently JoJo loves having her relationships in the spotlight like this. So I think it's fair that Kath brought their breakup to the spotlight. And I did see that Kath posted a podcast episode about their experience with the breakup. I think it was last week. I haven't listened to it, but I did see it on my Spotify homepage. So if you guys are interested in that tea, I would say go check it out. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys, this is just a quick one, but I think it's relevant. Alix Earle is going to be joining Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Stars is going really hard on the influencer bid because Alix Earle has been announced as an upcoming contestant. This is the second really big name on TikTok, it girl on TikTok, that Dancing with the Stars has been able to land. First, it was obviously Charli D'Amelio, now Alix. I just find it so interesting that Dancing with the Stars has become actually a stamp of approval from Hollywood. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it started, it was kind of where really washed up celebrities who were maybe trying to make a half-assed comeback went. Or it was like reality stars who were trying to break out. Well, it is a reality show, but you know what I mean? Like trying to break out of like how we knew them. So like Kim Kardashian, like Lisa Vanderpump, some of the kind of bigger reality stars from those franchises, like lifestyle franchises. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. Alix Earle's a huge get. Honestly, a bigger get than Charlie for sure. Like Charlie does not have as much cultural relevance by far as Alix Earle does. And I think this is actually going to bring in like genuinely so many young women viewers. I will be really interested to see the ratings on this and if we can see any like demographic split, because I think this is like a huge opportunity for Dancing with the Stars to actually tap that like young female audience. Okay, the last story that I have for you guys, this is a crazy one. A Canadian creator named Naya Sakry has taken to TikTok to share that Domino's Pizza, quote, took $7,200 from her. Okay, so this poor girl, Naya, she went on TikTok. So she had posted before, like she was posting, you know, just like personal content. And then she said that everybody in her life was like, take this to TikTok. And honestly, good advice, because it has absolutely blown up. And I really think she might be able to get some justice here because of it. So she says she ordered Domino's Pizza from their website on March 30th. She's in Toronto, I believe. That's what her bio says. And the order was $72.53. She paid online and she has a receipt that says that is what she paid. She says the next 2 days she got missed calls from Domino's and she thought it was just like customer service feedback calls. So she didn't answer them because it was the weekend and she was out with friends and like busy and stuff like that. And then later in the weekend, she checked her email and she saw that she had an email saying she was over her credit limit. And she thought that was weird because she had recently paid off her credit card. So she checks her credit card and she notices that Domino's took $7,253 from her instead of $7,253. That's obviously wild, but you know, could be a mistake, like an honest mistake from the worker, a decimal issue, right? And I'm sure that's what it was. But the way that Scotiabank and Domino's have reacted to this and treated her is what actually makes this so appalling. So she obviously first went to the Domino's store and was like calling them, trying to talk to the manager. She's like, they literally couldn't care less. Took it to Domino's head office. She said, again, headquarters and her emails and everything, like couldn't care less. Nobody was helpful. Basically, Domino's, both at the store and headquarters, were trying to turn it back on her. And she was like, there's nowhere online that I can input the total amount that I'm going to end up paying. So like I could not have inputted like $7,000. So then of course now she's been trying to deal with Scotiabank. So she's been contacting Scotiabank. She submitted multiple emails with all of her proof, all of her receipts. She's called so many different teams. She said she's talked to the customer service team, the fraud team, the social media team, the credit team, like everyone. And no one is helpful. She said that their disputes can take between 30 to 90 days. And so after 30 days, because this happened on March 30th, she called Domino's and started this process on April 1st. When it hit 30 days, she called Scotia for an update and they were like, oh, you haven't submitted XYZ, so we haven't even like opened it. And she was like, well, how was I supposed to know that I needed to submit all this stuff? So then she submits the stuff. She called back again recently, which is why she ended up taking it to TikTok, because again, it's been 50 days now and it has not even been opened. And the problem with a credit card, as I'm sure you guys know, is that like there's a timer on it, you know, there's a time limit for how long you can keep that balance there. So without paying it off. So she ended up paying off the $7,000, like the full amount, because she was like, this is going to affect my credit score. And for Australian listeners, I'm sure you guys understand credit and how it differs in North America versus Australia, but like credit scores are so important in North America. Yeah, she was like, I was obviously in a very bad situation. And she's like, thankfully this happened to me and not somebody that, you know, would not be able to pay that off. Like $7,000 is such a huge amount of money.
There's only one person at Scotiabank now, thank God, which I only found last week, who's kind of trying to help me. But he called me on Friday and told me that I'm calling you because I promised I would, and I promised I would give you an update. The update is that there is no update. So basically, nobody is working on it. Nobody is helping me. All that I keep thinking is like, what would happen if this happened to somebody who could not pay off the $7,000? Like, how is this okay? How is this legal? Like, it causes so much stress. This is somebody's livelihood. Like, $7,000 is not a joke.
Oh, and the kicker here is that the store, Domino's, where she actually like ordered it from, told her that after this dispute is resolved, everything is said and done, that they will be coming to collect the 72.53 from her still. But I wanted to talk about this situation. Like, it is going relatively viral, but I wanted to talk about it more in relation to how I think the online reception to this story is indicative of larger cultural change that we're seeing in online spaces. If this video was posted like even a year ago, I'd argue that we would see a much more divided comment section and plenty of stitches of people blaming her for like not picking up the phone when Domino's called, for not checking her credit balance, for not double checking what she ended up paying, for people calling her a liar for clout, you know? And overwhelmingly, every piece of content, every comment that I've seen, everything related to this story that I have seen online has been on her side. So many people are commenting, offering her free legal advice. People are telling her like step by step what she needs to do. Scotiabank employees are commenting saying, message me, like I'll get on this right away for you. I saw CTV commented saying that they've reached out to her. So like they're obviously gonna do some type of like news segment about this. So it's like, it's really such a nice result to see. Like it's a nice result out of a shitty situation. And the reason why I think this is indicative of a shift is because online reaction turned so dark amid COVID. Like COVID really was like the turning point for us. And we're still very much seeing the repercussions of that. And I think a huge reason why the online space became so tumultuous and divided, partly honestly TikTok. I think TikTok democratized so many elements of viral fame and viral culture and being able to share your opinions and your commentary. And that existed before, but TikTok amplified that, right? Like all of a sudden, regular people could share an opinion and people can latch onto it. They can stitch it. They can duet it. They can reply in comments. And that video can just get millions of views. Like, of course, there was, Twitter, for example, where people could, share their opinions on political news or something. But the chances of that being amplified to millions of users was very low if you were a nobody. Whereas TikTok completely changed the game and changed all the rules for social media and influence and all of that. So that was a huge part of that. The other is that I think during COVID and then onwards from COVID, because of everything that's happened since, and I know we're not out of COVID, but I just mean like 2020 vibes, is that feeling of intense helplessness, and people were just looking for a place to project their anger and to feel some semblance of control. So getting mad at strangers in comment sections, it like validated the kind of confusion and anger and out of control feelings that we had. So yes, we really have watched people abuse each other over the last several years online over some of the pettiest stuff sometimes. And like these interactions have always existed, but for the most part, they were really reserved for trolls. And then that behavior became a lot more widespread and a lot more normalized because of COVID, because of Trump, because of all of the things that we've been through in the last several years, and again, because of TikTok. But I genuinely have seen such a shift lately, and it's giving me a little bit of hope. I always said that the pendulum was so far one way, like it really did have to swing back at some point, and I think we are starting to see the beginnings of it. I think the average person is starting to give each other the benefit of the doubt online again. We'll see. I'm going to eat my words. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for Mini Scroll today. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and star rate us on Spotify. And I will talk to you on Monday. Bye.